As I'm looking at this particular point in time, I would be comfortable. Preliminary evaluation is that this was a terrorist act.
That was NYPD Chief Bill Bratton calling the recent hatchet attack in Queens a terror attack. This is we learn more about the suspect's ties to radical Islam. As fear of lone wolf attacks increase, are the hands of local police forces tied because of political correctness? Joining us now to discuss is former NYPD detective and private investigator Thomas Ruskin. Good morning. Thanks for being with us. There's been a lot of talk about stop and frisk associated with this. If that was in place, could it have stopped it?
I don't think it would have stopped this attack, but had he been walking along the street, had another uniformed cop seen him, the possibility exists that they would have stopped him, questioned him. If he started to act funny, they might have frisked him, and it possibly could have stopped this attack or some other attack. We don't know how long he was following these police officers, and there is the belief that he may have been following them for a while. Had some other officer seen him, it could have been prevented.
How difficult is it to try to track these guys? When we talk about the profile of this individual, and you look at his 2 years of, rantings on Facebook and praising ISIS, and we need to go attack our U.S. military here at home. I mean, could we have caught this guy any sooner?
Possibly. I mean, the fear of a lone wolf is exactly that. It's a lone wolf. If a guy is sitting in his basement or his apartment and looking at stuff, you might never know. It's when they start posting it, and that's what's important for our government, and that's what the restrictions of the NSA and things like that, and those restrictions are affecting these type of investigations, or the possibility of determining that this is going on, or that this guy should maybe be watched or questioned.
So the NYPD is a famously competent intelligence division, but they've been criticized by Muslim groups for years for focusing on Muslims. Do you think those criticisms have caused the NYPD to pull back in its surveillance?
Well, we know that they've pulled back. Mayor de Blasio has cut back on funding for these things within the police department. We know that he had a lawsuit that he withdrew from, the appeal relative to stop, question, and frisk, de Blasio. And it's definitely putting handcuffs on cops out there to be able to do their job and potentially find someone like this as they're walking the streets.
If this really is the new wave of terrorism, the new face of terrorism, pick your weapon, right? In Canada, it was a car, then it was a gun, then a day later it was a hatchet. How do we combat this?
We have to give the cops the resources to be able to do this, and you can't restrict the police officers. If you have a program like Stop, Question, or Frisk, and it has a problem in it, then you solve that problem and you keep the program going. If cops don't understand it, you retrain them. But it's not a violation of someone's civil rights if you have a reason to stop, question, or frisk someone. When I was on the street years ago, it was a very effective tool. You see someone, they're acting suspicious, you go over and you talk to them. That's what you do as a cop every single day. Are you okay? What are you doing here? So on and so forth. And if it rises up to the level of my feeling that there's something else going on, I might have the grounds then to, frisk them.
Right. We give citizens the right with the, if you see something, say something. It's the same thing, right?
Exactly.
All right. Thomas Ruskin, former NYPD detective. Great to see you this morning.
Thanks for having me.